Morning! Episode 8 on the series Journey to Becoming a High Achiever. So, today's guest is somewhere around and she will be coming up shortly. Yes, she. Yesterday we had Glenn Judo, right? From Infamous by Glenn Judo. All right, so we are morning. Hello, morning. So our guest will be showing up shortly. Okay. Los Gidi, good morning. Hi, how are you doing? Welcome to the series. There we are. So right now, and she should be joining us in 3, 2, don't fall my hand. 1. Why does this happen all the time? Like there's this lag when you trying to. Oh, there she is. Awesome. Look at her. Good morning. How are you
Good
doing?
morning. I'm very well, thank you.
Awesome. So everyone, like I was saying, this is the amazing Peace Iziwole. Now she is the CEO of Meals by Peace. She is an unapologetic Jesus girl. Yes, she is. So without further ado, I would like us to really get into the deep conversation as quickly as possible. So okay, let me type in the. One second.
So while you're typing, can we
Yes.
do a quick word of prayer, please?
Oh, okay, of course.
All right. I am of the opinion that for everything we do in life, there's always the God factor. He's the one who gives us the wisdom and the power to make wealth. So I trust that this life section is not just going to be the norm. It's going to be an opportunity for lives to be impacted and souls to take a turn around for the good. So Father, we thank you for this opportunity. We thank you for the grace to be among the living in this season and in this time. We're grateful for the privilege to be able to use our space and our sphere of influence to influence people for you and draw people closer to you by our lifestyles. We ask the Lord for everything we say today, that your hand will be upon us and that will not just speak of ourselves, but will speak what you want people to hear, and that will turn them towards you and turn their lives to become better. In Jesus' name we have prayed.
Amen. Wow. I told you guys, awesome. Peace is great. It's great to be talking to you. We've been chatting. So I think this is the opportunity to really get to, really get into some of this thing. So now a lot of people they see Meals by Peace. They see you running around. Okay, it says Richard, there's a slight echo on your end. How is that even possible?
I can't hear any echo.
You're wearing it. You have an earpiece on, right?
Yes, I do. I am having an on.
Oh wow. Okay, I think
the earpiece from my end. Do you need me to remove it?
Try it a bit. Let's see. Try that. Let's see. Am I still echoing?
I never had any echo from your end.
Okay, but now the echo is gone.
Okay, so let me get the earpiece off.
Los Gidi, can you still hear the echo? I don't think the echo is still there. I don't think it's still there. Okay, right. So great. Now, a lot of people have seen you build Meals by Peace. Okay, great, awesome. A lot of people have seen you build your business, and they see you're happy doing it. They see a lot of joy in what you're doing, how you present yourself. 2 days ago, I spoke with someone, Anthony Emebo, and he said something about being shameless about your hustle. And I recall you quoted that when you were on that live video. I think that was awesome. And that's something I have perceived you to be. All right, now you you have accepted and embraced cooking as something that you believe in your own way will bring joy and happiness to people. I want you to take me back to your childhood and morning. Episode 8 on the series Journey to Becoming a High Achiever. So today's guest is somewhere around and she will be coming up shortly. Yes, she. Yesterday we had Glenn Judo, right? From Infamous by Glenn Judo. All right. So we are morning. Hello. Morning. So our guest will be showing up shortly. Okay. Los Giddy, good morning. Hi, how are you doing? Welcome to the series. There we are. So right now, and she should be joining us in 3, 2, do for my hand. 1. Why does this happen all the time? Like there's this lag when you trying to. Oh, there she is. Awesome. Look at her. Good
Hi.
morning. How are you
Good
doing?
morning. I'm very well, thank you.
Awesome. So everyone, like I was saying, this is the amazing Peace Iziwole. Now she is the CEO of Meals by Peace. She is an unapologetic Jesus girl. Yes, she is. So without further ado, I would like us to really get into the deep conversation as quickly as possible. So okay, let me type in the. One second.
So while you're typing, can we
Yes.
do a quick word of prayer, please?
Oh, okay, of course.
All right. I am of the opinion that for everything we do in life, there's always the God factor. He's the one who gives us the wisdom and the power to make worlds. So I trust that this life section is not just going to be the norm. It's going to be an opportunity for lives to be impacted and souls to take a turn around for the good. So Father, we thank you for this opportunity. We thank you for the grace to be among the living in this season and in this time. We're grateful for the privilege to be able to use our space and our sphere of influence to influence people for you and draw people closer to you by our lifestyles. We ask the Lord for everything we say today, that your hand will be upon us and that will not just speak of ourselves, but will speak what you want people to hear, and that will turn them towards you and turn their lives to become better. In Jesus' name we have prayed.
Amen. Wow. I told you guys, awesome. Peace is great. It's great to be talking to you. We've been chatting. So I think this is a good opportunity to really get to really get into some of these things. So now a lot of people they see Meals by Peace. They see you running around. Okay, it says Richard, there's a slight echo on your end. How is that even possible?
I can't hear any echo.
You're wearing it. You have an earpiece on, right?
Yes, I do. I am having one on.
Oh, wow. Okay, I think
the earpiece on my end. Do you need me to remove it?
Try it a bit. Let's see. Try that. Let's see. Am I still echoing?
I never had any echo from your end.
Okay, but now the echo is gone.
Okay, so let me get the
Los
earpiece
Giddy,
off.
Los Giddy, can you still hear the echo? I don't think the echo is still there. I don't think it's
Okay,
still there. Okay,
all
okay,
right.
so great. Now, a lot of people have seen you build meals by piece. Okay, great, awesome, awesome. A lot of people have seen you build your business, and they see you're happy doing it. They see a lot of joy in what you're doing, how you present yourself. 2 days ago, I spoke with someone, Anthony Emebo, and he said something about being shameless about your hustle. And I recall you quoted
Yes,
that when you were on that live video. I think that was
yes.
an awesome. That was an awesome. That was awesome. And that's something I have perceived you to be. All right. Now you have accepted and embraced cooking as something that you believe in your own way will bring joy and happiness to people. I want you to take me back to your childhood and show me what was able to allow you. What's the word? Okay, what things in your childhood formed your inner strength?
Okay, I'm an only child. I'm an only child, and growing up, I wasn't born with a silver spoon. I don't know if you know Lagos very well, but there's this environment called Ajegunle, the ghetto. That was where I was
Wow,
born. But
wow.
my parents had a total different way of bringing me up. Actually, I wasn't. I was in the environment, but I was still not a part of the environment. Do you understand? So
Yeah.
I was in the ghetto, but I had a bit of the body upbringing with the little that my parents could actually afford at that particular time. At least I went to a private school until it was time for me to go into the secondary school. So I wasn't pampered, but I grew up knowing that my mom was someone who always wanted a side hustle. You understand? She was a teacher, and at the same time she was selling drinks. She was selling a whole lot of things. You know, when I was going to get into the university, she had already retired, and her pensions wasn't so much as at that time. And what she did was she decided to start selling cement, sand, and gravel. So she had a shop, and in that shop, I just kept looking at it and like, gravel and sand are not really my thing. You understand? I could market, yes, but at that tender age, I started making snacks. Do you understand?
Hmm.
Before Jam could, click and I could get into university, I started making snacks. And so, that hustling spirit has always been there. My grandmother was a fish seller. Do you understand? My mother would always tell me those stories of how her mom put her through, you know, selling fish and all that back in Abia State then and all that. So I think it just runs in the blood somehow.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, so I hear you say something that you had been pushed by something that was passed down to you from your grandma to your mom and then to
Yeah.
yourself. All right. Now, what you basically learned from what you saw. You basically learned from what you
Yes.
saw. Now, before you arrived at this point, because people don't see the tears, people don't see the
Mm.
depression, people don't see the moments you want to give up, people don't see all of those things. Now,
They don't
walk
see
me
this
through.
process.
Yeah, they don't see those things. They just see meals by piece and food is ready and everybody come, let's eat. Walk me through how that has been for you, knowing that you're even married. Walk us through that. How's that been like for you?
Okay, so I talked about the initial stage where I had to sell snacks, you know, and what I didn't also say was when I got into the university, there wasn't any steady flow of income. You understand? My dad was late. I had to fend to a large extent. My mom was able to do the school fees parole for me, but when it had to do with the other basics that I needed, I had to source for it myself.
Now, so from my university days, I started selling food. But it wasn't like this. It was like, oh, there's going to be a trade fair. And I would think to myself, okay, this trade fair, how is it going to be beneficial to me? Everybody's selling clothes, everybody's selling shoes, everybody's doing makeup. But the people who are doing makeup, people who are doing food, they would, people who are doing hair, they would need to eat. So it came from a desire to see people comfortable. You understand? Gets you away from the inconvenience of, oh, you are stressing yourself. Then let somebody take a little bit of the stress that you're going through out from you. So it started from days in the university selling food there. There will be times whereby um, my mates, my classmates actually would actually have parties, and I'll have to cater for their parties. I stopped being a social butterfly because of that. I can't see myself in a party these days, dressed up and I'm going to an Owambe like that. No, I let me just say that I stopped socializing. In my brain, I just knew that I couldn't fit into that world anymore. You understand? Now, as a married person, hmm, it's a bit difficult. My challenges have been the fact that I worked for a while in the corporate world. You know, I taught for a while. I was a personal assistant for a while, and then I wasn't finding fulfillment doing all of that.
Oh,
So
wow.
I took out time and I prayed about it, and I had peace in my heart knowing that it was food I wanted to do. But I couldn't convince my husband that that was the route to take. The route of
Yeah.
business is a very uncertain one. It's one that you can't predict from day to day and say, oh, this is what I'm going to benefit from, you know, doing food. Of course, you would see people saying, oh, it's a lucrative business, but nobody tells you about the struggles involved in it. And so my mama said, I I can't see you doing food full time. If you're going to do food, why don't you do it on the sidelines? Keep your day job, and then maybe if there's a catering, there's a party, if there's a birthday, if there's a wedding, you can cater for it at your spare time, but not to leave your full time job. I had to convince him otherwise. And so, contrary to the popular belief that I just got there and I just hit off. No, I started from the bus stop. I quit my job July 2017, and I got a space at the bus stop close to my house. And I put my degree aside, and I became
Whoa.
a food seller by the bus stops. So there were days where it was raining. You know how July could be, July through September,
Yeah.
October.
Yeah. Really messy.
So when I started, I didn't even have a shelter at that bus stop. I didn't have an umbrella. So in the daytime, there would be sun and it would be hitting me. I'm always there at 7 a.m. every morning. So the sun will hit me. And when it's about 12, 1, the weather would have changed. I'll be happy. Oh, the weather has changed, a bit cooler. And then the rains will come. And most times I would have to be under the rain selling food at the bus stop. And between July and December, I got another spot at the bus stop. So I got someone else to take over for the first bus stop space. And then I handled the second bus stop space. So I stayed in the bus stop for close to about a year, 6 months. The days when I would meet Agberus who would talk nastily to me, the days where, you know, when I'll be embarrassed, people will just, when you are serving the public, you get a lot of ups and downs there.
Yeah.
There are days where maybe the sales are not also very nice and I have to take my food back home and my family will have to, make do with what I have at that particular time. So, but there's something about me. And my husband said it to me yesterday as we were coming back home. He said, I'm I'm consistently consistent. I'm like a bulldog. When I put my mind to this, that I want to achieve it, I don't sleep on it. Okay, let me give an example. For instance, there's a client, she's in Kenya, so she ordered food from me and asked me to deliver to some of her family members. I did. And then she gave me money to get foodstuffs for some other people. And so the day she gave the money for the foodstuffs, that same day I was already in the market. I'd bought the foodstuffs, I'd packed it before 5 p.m. that day. And then she was like, Seriously, please. I thought maybe you would say, okay, give me about 3 4 days. I said no. You give me a tax, I do it, and I do it excellently. I don't give rooms for wiggy washes, excuses. I don't give myself room for excuses. So I hold myself by a very high level of degree. You know why? Because I feel that excellence is a product of who you are on the inside of you, and it shows forth. There's a Yoruba proverb that says that the character you have is like vapor or smoke. You put it into a container, definitely will come true. So there are things that you just can't hide out, and people need to know that they can trust you with their resources. They can trust you with promptness, punctuality, care. This is what has set me apart as a business person. I don't say, oh, there's lockdown, I can't get. No, I tell you I'm going to give you food at 12 noon, and I make sure that at least by 11:55 I am at your door, calling you that, oh, your food is ready. So these are the things that has formed me.
Wow, wow. Let me I listened to a couple of things you said. Let me take you back a little. You talked about losing your father. What was that experience like for you? How did you go through that? How did you manage that? If that's something you don't want to talk about right now, it's fine. We could move on to another
No,
question.
it's my dad. My dad. I lost my dad when I was 10, and up till now, I still feel like I lost an integral part of my childhood. There's there's no debunking the space of a father in the life of a child, especially a girl child. It shapes the way you see things. I was needy at a point, very needy, emotionally needy. And so don't get fooled by the strong woman you see today. A lot of my teenage age was faced with a lot of neediness. I wanted affirmations. I wanted to feel loved. My mom was doing her utmost best, but she isn't the emotional person. My dad was the person who would, give you hugs, who would give you pecks, who would make you feel like you're at the center of his world. And so when he died, a part of me did die. And they tell you, oh, maybe you find someone, you get married, or you get into a relationship, you find someone, and then that vacuum is filled. I don't really think so. It never really did get filled for me, and maybe that's the reason why I'm this passionate about God, because every day he gives me reaffirmations of the fact that I am loved by him, and somehow God has been filling the space of not having a dad for me. So it messed me up. I have to be very sincere with you. Not having a dad in my life growing up messed me up big time. I I made some decisions I probably wouldn't have made. I had some relationships I probably wouldn't have been into if my dad was there. So that's it.
Wow, wow. Yeah, that's powerful. That's powerful. That's powerful. You you also talked about something, fending for yourself. I mean, that must have been rough for you, fending for yourself. How did you manage that?
Well, I went in to study English language in Olabisi Onabanjo University, known as Ogun State University at that time. And there were days when getting handouts was difficult. So I had to um, I had to work. When I mean work, I mean I had to stop classes sometimes just to make sure that I'm going to be in the next class. I had to go cook for some people. Probably being that particular trade fair I talked about, it was actually going on when class was going on. So with the proceeds from that, I was able to put myself through school. There were times when I had to come down to Lagos, Alaba International. I can never forget, to buy stuffs just to come back to school to sell, because I couldn't put the entire burden on my mom. My mom was trying the best that she could, and there was a time when her health wouldn't allow her be there for me. So I just had to do what I had to do without going promiscuous, to be able to put myself through school. Just basically, I walked.
But how did that affect your academics? Well, how were you able to balance them?
Okay. Um, when it comes to academics, I have the opinion that there are different types of education. Do you understand? So, I would say that I was intelligent. I would say that it didn't have an adverse effect on me, on the knowledge I needed to get, but it affected my grades. You understand? Of course, I would go to for my exams and I would, write my exams and I would pass. But what about the days when I missed classes? There was there was attendance scores that I had to get. I missed those ones. So maybe let's say in the total what's it called now semester, I had to get 100% in a course, and maybe I attended class like 60% of the time,
Okay, Los Giddy is
covering
asking a
tests.
question. Sorry to cut
Yes,
you. Los Giddy is asking a
yes.
question. When you're done with this, we'll answer Los Giddy's question.
Yeah, I've seen this question. I'll go to that. So
Okay.
it affected, to be very candid, it did. It did. It did not affect the knowledge I needed to get from school, but it affected my grades in the sense of not being able to be in class when I'm supposed to be in class. It did.
Hmm. Okay. Okay. So would like to attempt his question right now? Even would you?
Yes, I will.
Okay.
Customer acquisition. How did you grow your customer base? Okay, so like evangelism, when you when you have found Jesus, you want everybody to know about the fact that you have found Jesus. It's not something that you can hide. It's a relationship that shocks you. It makes you giddy. Do you understand? So
Yeah, it makes you
you want
giddy.
everyone to know about it. You get the point now. So I was into food. I was leaving the corporate world for food business. It was an uncertain world. I didn't know people in the corporate world, as in the business world. So all I had was the people I was coming from, and then my church family. Do you understand? So what I did was I kept making, posts. See, I'm not really big on Instagram, but I'm big on WhatsApp. So I'm always talking on WhatsApp. I don't let you forget about me. If you want to build customer base, you have to make sure that nobody forgets about you. Whether you're posting about your food, you're posting religious stuffs, you're posting personal stuffs. See, once they open their WhatsApp status, let them see that peace is online. Do you understand? Make sure that you are in the minds of people at every point in time. Constancy to plan is constancy to purpose. I tell myself that I spend as close as 8 hours online every day. So what am I doing online? I'm posting pictures, I'm reading. And when I find things that might be beneficiary to my clientele, I post it. I tell them about it. So that's what I do all the time. And then even when people are not ordering food from you, do you care about them? What value are you bringing to the people who are ordering from you and the people who are not ordering from you? So what I do is this. I see you post pictures about your mom, your dad, your children, and I take interest in you as a person. You might not have bought anything from me, but I know that you're a prospective customer. So I ask about you. I care genuinely about you, your welfare. If I see you post something that maybe you're down or something, I ask you questions. Are you okay? Is there anything I can do to help? People need to know that you genuinely care about them beyond your ability to make money or your ability to want to make money. You need to be able to show people that you care about them genuinely. And when people say that you care about them genuinely, they would want to patronize you. They also want to care about you. That's how I've built my own customer base, by caring genuinely about people, by making sure that I'm always in their space, I'm always on their minds, posting relevant things and showing them that I care for them.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. There's a lot of value in there. You said something about spending a lot of time on the internet. How do you balance internet time and physical time when you're in the kitchen? How do you manage that?
Okay, so like this morning when you and I were talking, if you notice, there was just a whole lot of law. Do you understand? So I I wake up most mornings at 4 a.m. I know what I want to do for that day. I know that, okay, I have to have my quiet time. And while I'm having my quiet time, I'm also posting probably the menu for the day, so that people who come online that early see my post and they know, oh, this is what is up for today. By the time I'm done with my quiet time, I make sure that you know that I'm online. That if you have any request at that particular time, you know I would see it. So even if I'm not physically with my phone, in a space of about 30, 20 minutes, I would see whatever it is that you need. So when I'm cooking, I've placed my meat on the fire. I don't have to be with my phone in the kitchen. I come back to my phone. I see, oh, I just scan through. Are there any messages I need to reply? To make you know that I'm a part of your day. I reply your messages and then I go back to what I'm doing. So I just try to balance it up. I don't take my phone to the kitchen, but I come back to look at it from time to time.
Okay, and that allows you show up consistently. There's also something
Yes.
I've noticed about your Instagram feed. You don't try to be fancy, and doing too many there's no makeup, like on the page itself. On the page,
Yeah.
everything comes out raw, everything comes out as it is, showing the real. Talk to me a bit about that. Why did you opt to drop fancy stuff and just go real?
Okay, so we're in a world where everything most times, if you're not careful, is make believe. And then I'm not saying that is wrong in itself. There is a clientele that would appeal to, and then there's another clientele that I am trying to get, and that's the ones that can afford to be real and vulnerable with me. I don't want the fancy people. I want people who can be naked and not be ashamed. I want people who can identify with my struggles and say, oh, if peace can move from point A to point B by being this way, I can also move from point A to point B by being this way. Do you understand my point? So I want
Yeah,
people to be able to identify with the struggles, because a lot of people are going through some very nasty things, and
yeah.
they are looking for a space to be able to unbundle. And then everyone is doing make believe. If I join the make believe system, who would heal the hearts of those people? One of the things I said to when I first started was, I want to heal the hearts of homes and relationships and people with good food. I know what I mean. People need to be able to onboarding themselves with you, even on your page. So it's a male page, yes, but it's also a point where people can, other women, other men, people who are going through struggles, who are going from one step in their lives and their career, can actually identify with.
Awesome. People are at the center of everything that you do. From all I keep hearing you say, people are the center. Okay, Los Gidi has a question coming up. He has another question. Okay, while we're waiting for that question, um, that period of when you quit your job, all right, when you transition from the corporate world to this. Now, when we read the Bible, you hear something like, and then so person died, and then the next thing you jump to the next verse, but we don't actually look into that particular line that said, and so person died. Who was crying in that period? Who had to who went broke trying to prepare for the burial? Who we don't see what happened in that one sentence, and so person died. So tell us what happened in that one sentence, and I quit my job from the corporate world, from my safety net. Talk to us about that.
My life literally came to a stop. My boss, I would never forget her, and I would always be grateful to her. She was my safety net, like you said. I knew that, okay, even if maybe I'd exhausted my salary, I could always ask for an advance with her. But with quitting my job, that stopped. That certainty stopped. So life as I knew it ended. I couldn't go in, and shop for my kids the way I would want to. I have two sons, you know. I couldn't shop for them the way I wanted to. I couldn't give them the fancy stuffs they were used to. They didn't change school, I ensured that. But there were days when they couldn't pay their fees. I couldn't pay their fees. You understand? There were days when I remember once, because I had told them when I was still in the corporate world, I said I would always pay these fees. I don't want I don't want my kids to be sent away from school for any reason. And so something happened once in this transition process, and someone who didn't know me was on duty that period and sent my kids away from school. One bright morning, I was cooking that day. God, my life was like Jesus. Like, I literally cried. Like, I cried and couldn't stop crying. I I said, okay, they're not going to go to school this time anymore. The fact that they don't go to school for a time doesn't mean they're not going to be successful. I just tried to zero my mind around. I called them. I said, see, this is what's happening. Mommy can't afford to put you through school for this term, but I'm going to subscribe for for DSTV for you, because I wasn't subscribed at that time. I'll subscribe for DSTV for you so you can watch cartoons and forget that you're not going to school. That's what I said to my kids. And
Oh,
but somehow we were able to resolve it, and they went back to school. So
awesome.
I couldn't, like I said, I stopped being a social butterfly. I couldn't go to the cinemas anymore. I couldn't hang out with my friends. As in, I just,
And I was going to come to a question on that, but before I come to that question, let's look at what Los Giddy is saying. He said
yes.
WhatsApp is a bit more personal than Instagram. If you post mostly on WhatsApp than you do on Instagram, does it allow new potential it doesn't really allow new potential customers find you? What do you think
Okay,
about what
so, all
okay?
right, so, let's get the thing is
I
this.
think that's a tip there. Okay.
Yes, it is. So if you since you're on that page right now, you see that in the last couple of days I've been doing a whole lot. Now, for me, business is about knowing where your customers are. Do you understand? Let's not delude ourselves. Where are your customers? Are they on Twitter? Are they on Instagram? Are they on WhatsApp? Do you understand? There are a lot of people selling food on Instagram. So the competition is strong. You get my point. When I opened my personal page, if there was this call for, oh, why don't you open your business page as well? And I did. And all the things I was doing in the initial stage are on that business page. At a point, I had to tell myself the truth. Instagram is serious business. Instagram does not leave room for distractions. So while I was running my bus stop thing, I couldn't really do Instagram. Do you understand? And now, another thing happens to be that people feel that with WhatsApp, they can trace you. Are you getting that point now? With WhatsApp,
Yeah,
they can
it's more
trace.
personal.
You say what?
It's more personal.
Yes, it's more personal. They can trace you. They can ask questions. They can, you know, you post things there. In short, there's a whole lot going on. With your WhatsApp number, somebody can trace your location and know if you're a fraud or you're not. But if you disappear from the streets of Instagram, nobody can find you. They don't want to find you. You can shut everything down once. So I think that I wanted to build first and foremost credibility for myself. So what I'm doing is I'm taking a bit of what I have on WhatsApp and bringing it to Instagram. So consistently in the last couple of days, I've been doing, see, this lockdown hasn't been, just a period of recess for me. It's been a period of learning. So I'm taking a learning curve. I want to know how Instagram runs without losing my essence. Do you understand? So yes, people will find me if I really stay consistent on Instagram. I will get new clientele. But the ones the ready-made market I have on WhatsApp, I don't want to lose them.
Mm.
So that's it.
All right, beautiful, beautiful. And on WhatsApp, you have it's easier, for a back and forth. It's easier to really connect with people. So I think yes, I agree. Instagram can be a place of where you're cutting attention, all right, while you're focused heavily, makes a lot of sense. Makes a lot of sense. I'm hoping if Los Gidi has another question, I'll be. I any other question? Let me wait and see if he would come up with something. But in the meantime, I said I was going to get back to a question. Now, you talked about sacrificing a lot of things. You know, you mentioned you said it's here and there. You know, but what things, what other things, you know, did you have to let go of so that you could move forward?
Well, like I said earlier, my lifestyle, I had friends with who would hang out in the cinemas every Wednesday. You understand?
Wow.
We all worked together, yes. That was our way of unwinding, you know. So somehow I couldn't keep in touch with that lifestyle. I couldn't afford it. And then one of my friends said to me, Stella, she said, "Oh, most times we can't even find you at home anymore." You understand? Because you know, there's a way these things work. You sacrifice something to gain something. Do you understand? Now, if I continue to go to the cinemas, it would affect whatever it is I was trying to build. I didn't have the money to do that. Do you understand? And then there was this, you know, corporate wardrobe I had. You know, you buy clothes, you wear shoes, you do wigs. It had to go. Do you understand? I became a
Yeah.
functional person. Now I'm wearing makeup today because I want to
I'm
look
telling you,
good.
functional is the way forward. Functional is the way forward. You know, I'm sorry for cutting you short.
No problem. It's fine.
I used to like to dress up. I used to like to wear clothes and look nice and everything. But see, at some point, I swear, I have 7 of these, and that's all I wear right now because I don't want to wake up in the morning and I'm thinking, what should I wear? What should I wear? What should I wear? I want to go straight, pick something up, throw it on, and I'm dressed. And I get to work and execute. Functional is what makes sense for me right now.
I
Please
tell
go
you.
ahead. I'm sorry.
So I think in the last in the last 2 years, I'm sure I've cut my hair up to like maybe 10 times. You know. So I
It
at
is
times I want to.
easy.
So it makes it easy for me. You know, sometimes I want to,
Yeah.
okay, let me do something with my hair. And then I stand in salon for like 3 hours and I'm Jesus. 3 hours doing what? So never like, oh my goodness, I can't do this. So whenever anyone wants to, you know, talk about, you know, looking like a lady, the best I can do is tint the hair color, wear makeup, and wearing makeup is such a stress for me personally. I don't know about other people because by the time I'm done with cooking, I'm not going to a party. I'm going to sell food. Okay, so there's this particular place I have on the island. It's a company where I also sell food
Okay.
now. So I've moved away from the bus stop. Do you understand now? So I have I have this
Yeah, it's
place.
a journey. Journey to becoming a high
Yes,
achiever. It's a journey. It's a journey.
and you won't believe it that the place I'm selling food at the moment is a corporate place. So I still have to show up like I'm going to an office. But this time my office is in the kitchen. So I have a whole lot of corporate clientele coming in to buy food from me every day. I show up Mondays to Friday unfailingly. And then weekends, I do my side gigs. Now, the thing about that particular place is the fact that everything I have learned from my school days, my education, didn't go to waste. Do you understand? So I have to have excellent customer relations, as in my customer relations there is tight. You come into the kitchen space and I'm like, good afternoon, welcome. What would you like to have for lunch? This is our menu for today. You tell me your menu, I tell you the price, and I serve you. If there's a crowd, I say, please, could you all sit down quietly? I'll get to you as soon as I can. So it's still that structured thing for me.
Nice. Logidi has a question. He said, "How do you control kitchen staff and keep them from stealing raw material?"
Oh my goodness. Okay, so kitchen staff. None for now. So it's just me and my husband. I used to have staff, and they were not stealing raw materials as much as they were stealing money. So I like to think of people as I am. I'm an honest person, even if I have to say so myself. So I would give you free space to do whatever it is you want to do until you prove otherwise. So when I discovered they were stealing from me, I had to have a conversation with them and like, I trust that in future you guys are going to have your own places. You're going to be your own bosses. And if you don't want someone to do this to you, then you should stop. I didn't have to fire anyone. So anyone that had to leave on their own volition. But I just make you realize that for every action there's a consequence. I know what you're doing. I know maybe you're taking more meat than what I've given to you to eat. I know that you're hiding food under somewhere. But can you please stop? So I see that sometimes most of those conversation really gets to them. And then someone who's not going to change would leave.
But no,
So I don't.
yeah, but I would say in this instance, all right, someone who is God conscious, someone who has a conscience, um, might, reflect over what you've said and change. But people who are not, how do you then handle people who are not? But I think okay,
So
go ahead.
I don't know. I've like I said, what I do is what I've said so far.
Yeah.
Now, am I saying that everybody who has come to work for me has been perfect? No. But there's a Yoruba proverb that says that if you would close your eyes for a good person, for a bad person to pass, when a good one comes along, you might not know. And at the same time, there's something called amojukuro. It's a Yoruba word. Sorry, I like Yoruba words a lot.
No, voila, no,
Now, amojukuro means being able to overlook some things. There's some things that are just as in the negative side of business that you can't do without, or you can't avoid. So for people who steal, kitchen staff who steal raw materials, if you have cautioned them once, you caution them the second time, and they're unwilling to change, then you fire them. It's as simple as that. Another thing is that if they know that my boss knows how many packets of no Maggie we have, how many packets of spaghetti we have in this kitchen, they're most likely not going to steal. If you are the one, if they're the one who does the accounts, you tell them, okay, go and count everything that we have in this kitchen. How many have we removed today? How many are we going to use tomorrow? How many is left? You give them responsibilities that don't give them room to steal. My take.
Awesome. Please, thank you so much. You said 20 minutes, and I think we're well over 20 minutes, Wow,
It's fine. It's fine.
45 minutes. 45 minutes.
Wow.
This has been the product of who you are, and it will always show up. You also said be in the minds of people, care to people. You also talked, and then you may not see a good one when they show up. I mean,
It's echoing. Yes, you were.
oh,
Yes.
okay,
You were
awesome,
close to
awesome.
rephrasing it, yes.
Okay, awesome. All right. Thank you so much for your time. This journey
That's
for
Giddy
you.
has a question.
Oh, do you see yourself opening up? Wow. Okay, please. Oh, my internet connection might be bad. Please go ahead.
Okay, so investors, well, There was a time I was willing to look into that. Investors, if they will pump their money into it and then get returns later, yes. But I really don't want to do the partnership thing. Like, how would I put it now? I don't know. I don't know. Like, I can't say never. I can't say no. I'm open to a whole lot of ideas. Every day we keep growing. Every day we keep finding new ways of doing things. But I trust the Holy Spirit for direction in this season. So if I find investors that I feel led in my spirit that that's the next step to take, why not? I will. I'll be willing to take in investors.
I like that you mentioned that being led by the Holy Spirit, because that's not something that comes easy to many people. Hearing the voice of God, in this entire journey of becoming a high achiever, making God the center of everything is the only thing we can all do to actually ensure, that we are in line with what plans He has for us. Lord Gidi said you should please send him a menu. Lord Gidi, take your
I will.
time. Right? But I mean, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay. This last one question. Maybe you should just talk about it, just holistically. What role, mentally, physically, all right, has God played, in directing meals by peace? Because I don't I people a lot of people see God as just this guy that is up somewhere that's just staring at, but they don't actually understand that He is walking with you every step of the way, and really helping you go through some stuff. If you have a story to share, experience, whatever it is, just talk to us a bit. Let people not see God as just this invincible guy, but that He's right standing right here, right now, sitting right on this table, right now. Talk to us a bit about that.
Okay, so my journey so far with food has been one that has been led by God. Okay, so I have I keep a journal. I've always kept a journal. So I
Wow.
have one where I think as far back as maybe year 2000, I had a mental picture, like I had a vision of um what I wanted to do. Like God was speaking to me about this full thing, how everything was going to be like. And I just I kept it aside, and just like what's the Bible says about Jesus' mother, when so many things were revealed to her, she kept these things to her heart. So when those things started coming, when I was going to quit my job, I took out a lot of time to pray. I asked a lot of questions. As in, I didn't want to go wrong. You know, I had to trust God to see me through the dark and in the dark. I was jumping off a cliff and I had to know that He was going to catch me. So it couldn't just be business as usual for me in my relationship with Him. I had to know that this was where He was asking me to be per time. I knew when He was saying it was time for the bus stop. That was where He led me to. He showed me the place where I was going to sell my first spot, like 6 months before I came to that place. It's that
Wow.
real for me. So when it was time for me to leave the bus stop, I had two spots. He made it clear. He gave me words in my spirit that it was time to move. Now, something happened recently. I had to write it out. I don't know if I have it in this particular journal, but I had to write it out. And he said to me, he said, in this period where things will be, where resources will be scarce, you will not be stranded. What I have done in this season, I got into this season of lockdown without a dime. I did some investments that, took up all my savings. So I was going to go into this season without anything saved up. And I didn't know what I was going to do. But he had asked me to sow a seed like about a week before this lockdown started. And so I was saying, Lord, I don't have anything else in my account. And he said, when other people are
Morning. Episode 8 on the series Journey to Becoming a High Achiever. So today's guest. Wow.
It's time to move. That's food.
Wow.
It's
Thank you so much. Thank you.
now something happened recently. I had to write it out. I don't know if I have it in this particular journal, but see, I know that there are times whereby things don't really go out the way we plan them to go, even in business. He every other person